Okay, click on OK. Today concept is Selenium. Before going to Selenium, already we learned manual testing. What do you mean by manual testing? What do you mean by manual testing? Manual testing is nothing but there are two ways of testing. One is manual testing, other one is automation testing. What do you mean by manual testing? Everything we will do manually. Without any tool support, we will do everything manually. With our efforts, with human efforts, we will do everything. So that's why that is called manual testing. Already manual testing existed in the market. Why automation came into market? That means in manual testing we have some drawbacks. In manual testing we have some drawbacks. In manual testing we have some drawbacks. What are the main drawbacks in manual testing? First we will discuss. After that we can enter into Selenium. What are the main drawbacks in manual testing? First point, time consuming. More number of people required. More number of people required. Less accuracy. Tiredness. We cannot repeat the task again and again. We cannot repeat the task again and again. Simultaneous actions not possible. Simultaneous actions not possible. It is not a consistent process. It is a bore process. There is nothing to learn new things. There is nothing to learn new things. And so, more number of people required, time consuming, less accuracy, tiredness. We can't repeat the task again and again. Simultaneous actions not possible. It is not a consistent process. It is a bore process. There is nothing to learn new things. These are the manual testing drawbacks. Next, what do you mean by automation testing? What do you mean by automation? Automation also one of the type of testing in which all the drawbacks in manual testing are addressed properly and provide speed and accuracy to the existing testing process. It will give speed and accuracy to the existing testing process. It will give speed and accuracy to the existing testing process. Automation also one of the type of testing in which all the drawbacks in manual testing are addressed properly and provide speed and accuracy to the existing testing process. But wherever you go, still 80 to 90% companies, 80 to 90% companies, 80 to 90% companies, still they are depending upon manual process. Wherever you go, not only in India, not only in US, wherever you go, 80 to 90% people still they are depending upon manual process. Why they are depending upon manual process? That means in automation also we have drawbacks. In automation also we have some drawback. Automation drawbacks next. First point, professionals required. And professionals required. If it is manual testing, we can give training within 1 week and we can take into project, or within we can give training within 1 day and we can take into project. If it is manual testing, we can give the training within 1 day or 1 week and we can take into project. But if it is automation, compulsory professionals required. Second point, tools are very expensive. I'm talking about all tools. Tools are very expensive. Second point, tools are very expensive. Whenever you are comparing with manual testing, so tools are very expensive. Manual testing is the cheapest testing process. Manual is the cheapest testing process. That's the reason wherever you go, 80 to 90% people still they are depending upon manual process. Second drawback is tools are very expensive. Third point, we can't automate all the areas using tools also. We can't automate all the areas using tools also. That's the reason wherever you go, 80 to 90% of people still they are depending upon manual process. Why? Main drawback is we can't automate all the areas using tools also. We can't automate all the areas using tools also. You should remember only one note here. You should remember one note. Automation is not a replacement of automation. Automation is not a replacement of manual testing. Automation is not a replacement of manual testing. This is the continuation part of manual testing. Continuation part of manual testing. Automation is not a replacement of manual testing. This is the continuation part of manual testing. Manual is nothing but it is a basic process. Manual is nothing but it is a basic process. Automation is nothing but it is an advanced process. So manual is nothing but it is a basic process. Automation is nothing but it is an advanced process. If it is any project compulsory, we should do manually. After getting the stability, we can implement automation testing. Whenever you are facing the interview, also that time they may ask you like, you are saying manual is a basic process, automation is an advanced process. When can you implement automation testing? Whenever the application is stable condition, then only we can implement automation testing. Whenever the application is stable condition, then only we can implement automation testing. Whenever the application is stable condition, then only we can implement automation testing. Manual is nothing but it is a basic process. Automation is nothing but it is an advanced process. If it is any project anywhere in the world, compulsory we should do manually. After getting stability, we can implement automation testing. All right. Automation tool introduction. Automation tool. The automation tool is nothing but it is an assistant of test engineer. The automation tool is nothing but it is an assistant of test engineer. If you want to work with, if you want to work with a automation tool, a automation tool, you should know 5 basic things. If it is any automation tool, I am talking about all automation tools. If you want to work with a automation tool, you should know 5 basic things. First point, how to give the instructions. Yeah, automation tool is nothing but it is an assistant of test engineer. So if you want to work with any automation tool, compulsory we should know 5 basic things. First point, how to give the instructions. How to give the information. How to use its recording facility. How to use its playback facility. How to analyze the results. If you know these things, you can work with any automation tool. For example, I have an assistant is from Orissa. For example, I have an assistant is from Orissa. I have an assistant is from Orissa. I know Telugu, you don't know Telugu. I know English, you don't know English. I know Hindi, you don't know Hindi. I know Tamil, you don't know Tamil. He knows only Oriya. He knows only Oriya. First of all, we should learn Oriya. Then only we can give the instructions and information. Without giving the instructions and information, he will not do anything. Simply he will sit. So here is my assistant is Selenium. Here is my assistant is Selenium. I know Telugu. Selenium don't know Telugu. I know Hindi. Selenium don't know Hindi. I know English. Selenium don't know English. Selenium knows Java, Perl, Python, C Sharp, Ruby. So we should learn any of the scripting language. We should learn any of the scripting language. Why? Because Selenium is my assistant. Without giving the instructions and information, tool will not do anything. Compulsory manual interaction is very, very important. Compulsory we should give the instructions and information, then only it will do work. Otherwise it will individually it will not do any work. So compulsory we should give the instructions. If you want to give the instructions, so first of all we should learn any of the scripting language: Java, Perl, Python, C Sharp, Ruby. So any of the scripting language we should learn. All right. Next, type of tools. First one, functional tools. In market we have first tool WinRunner. This is out of date. None of the people are using nowadays. Functional tools means compulsory we need to perform some actions on the functionality. Then only we can say that functionality is properly working or not. The type of tools is called functional tools. In market we have different functional tools available. First one is WinRunner. Next one RFT rational functional tool. Next one QTP quick test professional. And after that they introduced Selenium. Most demandable tool in the world. First of all, we should know what are the main differences between QTP and Selenium. QTP introduced by Mercury people in 1994. Selenium introduced by Jas and Higgins in 2004. Using QTP we can work with normal window-based applications, web applications. Selenium only for web applications. So QTP is a commercial tool. Selenium is a open source tool. If you have internet connection directly, we can download and we can use. In QTP main facility, we have recording and playback facility. RPB, recording and playback facility, PB, recording and playback facility. In mainly WebDriver, we don't have. Mainly WebDriver, we don't have. Here we can use only VB scripting language. We can use multi languages, but Max company they are using VB scripting language. Here we can use multi scripting languages like Java, Perl, Python, C Sharp, Ruby. Here we can work with only IE browser very comfortably, but here we can work with multi browsers. These are the main differences between QTP and Selenium. Next, Selenium introduction. Selenium. What is Selenium? Selenium is nothing but it is a software. It is a software which contains some set of programs. Selenium is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. Simple definition. Selenium is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. Selenium is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. Selenium is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. Selenium having 4 components. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid. Selenium having four components: Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. What is Selenium IDE? IDE means Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. Selenium IDE is nothing but it is a software. So what is Selenium IDE? It is an Integrated Development Environment. What is Selenium IDE? Selenium IDE is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. This set of programs we need to configure into one user interface. We need to configure into one user interface. We need to configure into one user interface. In the place of user interface, we are using IDE only. No need to install somewhere. No need to install somewhere. Selenium IDE is a user interface. No need to install somewhere. Selenium IDE advantages. We have recording and playback facility. We have recording and playback. Roughly we will discuss now in depth manner. We will discuss later. We have recording and playback facility. Execution will be super fast. Disadvantages. We can work with only Firefox. We can work with only Firefox browser. And we can perform very limited testing. We can perform very limited testing. That's the reason none of the companies not using Selenium IDE nowadays. It is deprecated. It is deprecated. Selenium IDE is deprecated. Selenium IDE is deprecated. So what is Selenium IDE? Once again, Selenium IDE is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. So this, if we want to interact with these programs, we need one user interface. Why? Because these are the set of programs. So directly we can't interact with these programs. We need one user interface. In the place of user interface, we are using IDE only. After that, they made RC. RC means remote control. RC means remote control. RC means remote control. RC means remote control. What is Selenium RC? Selenium RC is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. This set of programs we need to configure into one user interface. Why? Because these are the programs. So directly we can't interact with these programs. We need one user interface. In the place of user interface, we are using Eclipse. Eclipse is nothing but it is a powerful editor to write the Java programs. If you want to write the Java programs, even developers also they will use Eclipse. Eclipse is nothing but it is a powerful editor to write the Java programs. But whenever you want to work with the Selenium RC, we need to start the server manually. We need to stop the server manually. Whenever you want to work with the Selenium RC, we need to start the server manually and we need to stop the server manually. That means using Selenium IDE and Selenium RC, we can perform very limited testing. That's the reason none of the people not using Selenium RC and Selenium IDE nowadays. It is both are deprecated. Both are deprecated. Selenium IDE and Selenium RC both are deprecated. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC both are deprecated. None of the people not using Selenium IDE, Selenium RC nowadays. It is both are deprecated. After that, they made Selenium WebDriver. What is Selenium WebDriver? Selenium WebDriver is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. This set of programs we need to configure into one user interface. We need to configure into one user interface. In the place of user interface, we are using Eclipse only. Eclipse is nothing but it is a powerful editor to write the Java programs. If you want to write the Java programs, We will use Eclipse only. Sir, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, both setups same, huh? Yes, both setups same. But whenever you are comparing with the Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver having some powerful set of programs. Using Selenium WebDriver, we can perform unlimited testing. Selenium WebDriver is very, very user friendly. That's the reason most of the people, most of the companies nowadays, they are using Selenium WebDriver only. Even fourth class kid also you can learn Selenium. Without knowing Java also we can learn Selenium. There is no relation between Java and Selenium. Sir, you are saying Java, there is no relation between Java and Selenium. Why we are learning? Why we need to learn Java? That's your question. So whatever we are learning in Java, that logic indirectly we will use in Selenium. This is the recorded file. After this class, I will keep in YouTube. Number of people they will watch this video. Frankly, I am saying, still I am saying my experience without knowing Java also we can learn Selenium perfectly. Even fourth class kid also you can learn Selenium. That is very easy, but only practice oriented, practice required. So without knowing Java also we can learn Selenium. Frankly, confidently I'm saying without knowing Java also. But whatever we will learn that Java logic we will use in Selenium. Indirectly, not directly. Indirectly, we will use that Java logic in Selenium. That's the reason we are learning Java. Even whenever you are facing the interview also, that time they may ask you half of the questions in Java, half of the questions in Selenium. Why they will ask? That means that logic you know that logic or not. That's the reason they will ask. So Selenium WebDriver is very, very user friendly. So using Selenium WebDriver we can perform unlimited testing. That's the reason most of the people, most of the companies nowadays they are choosing, they are encouraging only Selenium WebDriver only. Selenium is nothing but Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver is nothing but Selenium. Selenium is nothing but Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver is nothing but Selenium. Okay, right. Next, Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. Using these programs, we can run the test parallelly on multiple machines. At a time, we can run the test parallelly on multiple machines. At a time, we can run the test parallelly on multiple machines. That means we can increase the performance of the execution. We can increase the performance of the execution. Some of the companies they are using Selenium Grid also. Selenium Grid is nothing but it is a software which contains some set of programs. Using these programs, we can run the test parallelly on multiple emissions. If it is single test or multiple tests, we can run in multiple emissions or single emissions. So we can, what is the main use? We can increase the performance of the execution. Some of the companies they are using Selenium Grid also. These are the Selenium components. Each and every component we will discuss very clear manner. So this is the introduction of Selenium. So before going to Selenium, first of all we should learn Java. Tomorrow onwards we will learn Java. Tomorrow we will write first program. So Java, it is a case sensitive. We can't by heart. Java is nothing but simply my definition is Java is nothing but it is a logic. Java is nothing but it is a logic. Just we should get the logic. Okay, we can't by heart Java. Java is very, very important. So first of all we should learn Java. Tomorrow we will write first program of Java concept.